Hello everyone and welcome to Cavalry Guitars. My name is Mason and I've got an interesting guitar to review today. This is the D'Angelico Premier Ludlow in Army Green. To start with, D'Angelico is an actually pretty old company. It starts in, 1932? A guy called John D'Angelico grew up with violin makers and he started making archtop guitars in New York City. He got a pretty good rep for it as well. This went along until his death in sometime in 1964. D'Angelico as a brand was then sort of acquired by another archtop builder, and since then they've been fairly quiet until about 2011, where the brand was taken under new management and kick-started into the new century. This means there is a whole line of D'Angelico guitars out there, so not just this one, and they have actually been acquiring some pretty big artists, including Melanie Faye, one of my personal favourites. So I'm going to put a link in the description for you to go check her out. She's absolutely fantastic. You will not regret it. Onto the guitar then. The whole thing is Art Deco themed and it is very nicely finished. Basswood body, maple set through neck, and an Ovan coil fretboard. The fretboard being Ovan coil is a little bit of a surprise to me. It is dark stained. And I think that was made obvious to me. There's a couple of marks on it where the stain hasn't taken properly. Ovan coil is usually a little bit lighter, not as stained, dark, not as dark in its colour. I can somewhat see why they've done that, but personally I would have preferred to have seen a proper Ovan coil ball on here, pretty fresh. Now the headstock is that lovely D'Angelico shape with this little chrome detail there at the top. The machine heads are what they call rotomatic stair step, and I really feel like they help even out the width of this big headstock over here. You've got a chrome style truss rod cover and they call it a skyscraper. Obviously it's supposed to represent the Empire State Building. The nut is manufactured out of PPS and it has these lovely block inlays. The guitar is bound by cream binding all the way around with a black pinstripe on the top, and on the side of the neck there is black pinstripe going all the way down it, which I feel separates out the binding and the neck, which is a nice feature. The neck is satin finish and it's very smooth, it's very nicely done. I congratulate them for that, especially stopping the gloss here from the neck. I don't like a gloopy gloss neck. It is quite a gloopy gloss on the body, but the fact that they didn't let it go to the neck, very nicely done, very nice touch. The neck is a scarf joint, so it's basically had another bit of wood glued to it like that. It has a pearl scratch plate, which is lovely. I feel like really takes up the space. This is quite a wide body, really takes up the space nicely there. It's a bit of a Les Paul layout. It's got your 2 volumes, 2 tones. It's got your 3-way selector switch in the same places and your tone tune-o-matic, whichever one. And it's got 2 chrome cover Seymour Duncan designed coil tappable humbuckers. Just here and just here individually. The body isn't too thick and these contours are to die for. The tummy cut is about what you need, and this, that feels so good in the hand. You can get right down to the bottom there easily, no problems, no access problems at all with this. It's definitely a player's guitar. going to start off on a little bit of a rough note. I don't really like these humbuckers. I really don't. There's a little bit of a flatness to them, and they really lend themselves to that jazz sound, that neo-soul sound that they're really popular for. And it sounds great for that, but it's a kind of a one-trick pony. When I gain it up, I don't really get any great distortion sounds of it from compared to other guitars I've played. And the single coils, the coil tapped sounds are relatively unconvincing and uninspiring. You can get your best sort of single coil sound, in my opinion, by coil tapping just one of them and going to the middle position. So I typically coil tap the bridge and then leave it uncoil tapped on the neck. It just gives it that slightly thicker, maybe slightly more stratty sound. But that's the best I could get out of it, and that's the reason I am not keeping this. It's also quite important to note that this is quite a wide body. It's a contemporary style, which comes with contemporary quirks. Because it's wide, I feel like some younger or smaller in stature guitarists are going to struggle getting their arm around it and feeling comfortable. Even to me, there's so many other guitars I feel more comfortable with. And that's about where my criticisms end. I mean, I love the fit and finish and the feel of this guitar. It's so well put together, especially for its price. It's got a lovely gloss finish with very few finish problems on it. The stain on the neck, not a fan of, and overlaps onto the binding a little bit. But I don't have any problems with it playing wise. It's very playable. I just find it slightly uninspiring on a personal level. That may just be what we're at in this price point. For me, when we're talking about a 400 to a 800, 900 pound guitar, for me we're talking about something that a professional could go use, and this is very much that. I would just swap out the pickups, realistically. The little crook at the back is nice for those of us who sit down and play. Honestly, it gives it something, I don't know, it gives it something to lean on. And you can swivel it back up for when you've been typing on your computer and then go back to playing. I kind of like that. Does make it difficult to sort of trust when you're leaning it against something. I don't lean this guitar very often. I am a bit of a leaner. I like to just leave guitars around everywhere, but I can't do it with that little pointy bottom. It's just too much of a pivot point. These tuners, they kind of nondescript in terms of their performance. They do what a tuner should, but these tuning pegs are quite efficient because they're so big. It kind of gives you that smooth torque to tune the strings up or down or so on and so forth. They do, when you put them in the case, flatten out, so they'll try and create a straight line, so you will have to retune your instrument when you take it out, but that's not much to give for such a great tuner. I really love the shape. I mean, honestly, just put your finger on, twiddle it, and it's so easy to tune it up compared to those little strap buttons on little tuning peg button ends on a Strat. They're so much easier to use. If you're looking for something new in the market, if you're looking for something a little bit interesting, a little bit different, these are definitely, you can't go too far wrong here. They are really well made. I don't know if I would buy one again. There's some great videos of guys playing these instruments, not just the premier models, but more expensive ones as well. And these artists, they can really play. They can really do some special stuff, and it really can inspire you. So if you're inspired by that, oh, you'll love this. But a really good attempt from Dan Jellicoe, and I look forward to seeing what they come out with in the future. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, let me know by giving it a like or a comment, and please subscribe. It would be great to see those follower counts go up. But this is where I leave you. I have some more stuff on the way, some very interesting reviews and bits of gear, little challenges, lots of stuff coming up, so you really don't want to miss it.